Welcome aboard to AM News. My name is Denisia Pomaiji. In our very first story, the legal team of Ken Ofori-Atta has confirmed that the former finance minister has been detained by the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE over questions surrounding the status of his stay in the country. According to a statement released on the matter, Mr. Ofori-Atta is currently cooperating fully with ICE while his lawyers engage the authorities to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. The statement explained that Mr. Ofori-Atta has a pending petition for adjustment of status, a process under U.S. law that allows an individual to remain legally in the country beyond the validity of an initial visa. His legal team says this is a common immigration procedure and expects the matter to be resolved expeditiously. Now, the statement reads, the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE, as of yesterday, detained the former finance minister, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, regarding the status of his current stay in the United States. His U.S. legal team is in contact with ICE and expects the matter to be resolved expeditiously. Mr. Ofori-Atta has a pending petition for adjustment of status, which authorizes a person to stay in the U.S. legally past the period of validity of their visa. Under U.S. law, a change of status by this method is common. The public is therefore advised to take note that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, as a law-abiding person, is fully cooperating with ICE to have this issue resolved. And we'll be bringing you more updates as this particular story develops. Now, moving on. Minister for Education Haruna Iddrisu has tasked the newly inaugurated 14-member Integrated Governing Board of the Ghana Scholarships Authority to ensure that scholarships are awarded strictly on the basis of merit, need and other special considerations. Ghana's scholarship sector has over the years been mired in controversy amid concerns that slots were often allocated to politically exposed persons and other undeserving individuals at the expense of needy but qualified applicants. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony in Accra, Mr. Iddrisu urged members of the new board to rebuild public confidence by ensuring that qualified applicants are awarded scholarships in line with the Ghana Scholarships Authority Act. Fatal Bayaga has more in the following report.
Education Minister Haruna Iddrisu charged the 14-member board to ensure that public scholarships are awarded based on merit and financial need, as this principle was recently codified into law. For a long time, the system was plagued by corruption, nepotism, and political patronage, where individuals were often awarded based on political connections rather than deserving. This, the minister says, must end now.
I trust your judgment. In particular, that from today, scholarships in Ghana will reflect only 3 values: merit, need, and specific categories for purpose of national development. Nothing more. And be assured that I'm not one of those, together with my deputy, who will come knocking your door that you should award scholarship to our children. That is not acceptable. We won't do that. We simply would not do that. And Uncle Simon, Director General, one of the things you should do, anybody you award scholarship, let the public know. Publish it.
Chairman of the board, Samuel Gariba, says that there's the need to fund the authority to ensure that it operates effectively.
A scholarship scheme is absolutely no use if you cannot fund the scholarships you award. And there's nothing more disheartening to send students abroad, to the US, to the UK, to elsewhere. You can't pay their tuition. Tuitions are far in arrears. Worse still, you can't send them their stipend on which they will eat. The students studying in local universities, if they don't have food, they can come home and eat kenke or teaser or tupani.
The Education Minister, Haruna Iddrisu, has a response.
Currently, I'm told that the Scholarship Authority is in debt of about 834 million Ghana cedis. That's why I strongly was pushing for earmark funding for the Ghana Scholarship Authority. Unsuccessful as I was, I'm sure I'll be back to it some other day, but my argument strongly was that we should dedicate 2.5% of our petroleum royalty revenue to the development of human capital and dedicated to the Scholarship Authority.
For the Education Ministry, this governing board will steer the affairs of the Scholarship Secretariat to ensure that deserving and needy individuals get the opportunity to benefit from the packages of the authority. For Joy News, Fatau Bayaga, Accra.
Now, commercial drivers in Kumasi are pushing back against demands to reduce transport fares despite the recent drop in fuel prices. While commuters hope the falling petroleum costs will lead to cheaper fares, drivers argue that the broader realities of transport operations make reductions unfeasible. They point to rising operational and service costs, including high spare parts prices, which continue to strain their finances. Drivers insist that lowering fares would significantly impact their income. Our reporter Irabna Akwe was at Tech Junction in Kumasi to speak with some of the drivers.
Fuel prices have dropped again this year, prompting calls from commuters for a reduction in transport fares. But here at Tech Junction, some drivers and workers say the cost of operating their vehicles remain high despite fuel price relief, and they believe the government should focus on other important things. Here's what they had to say.
It would have been good to reduce the fares, but we go for maintenance. Prices of spare parts remain the same. If that comes down, then we also reduce the fares. It will benefit us all. The fares should remain the same, but attention should be focused on this. I pay 5 cedis from Tech to Ejoso, but in the evening I pay 8 cedis. Those who don't want to charge a fixed amount will load short. That wastes a lot of money. This is what attention should be focused on to relieve us. Although the fuel price is down, spare parts prices remain the same. Yesterday, I bought a head at Magazine for 4,500 cedis instead of 3,500. If they reduce the fares and reduce the spare parts prices, that will help us all.
Okay, no problem.
The previous reductions didn't help us. When I buy 400 cedis of fuel for a day, the government takes 40 cedis. In a month, I'll give the government about 1,200. If they let us reduce fares again, it means they want to slap us in the face.
It's the time I'm about to them away inside me class when I was with anti case casuria. And I say, so 2 million are they boy.
What do you remember to swear? I think I'm can you stay?
They knew they would add the 1 cedi levy. They should have maintained the previous fares, but you can't reduce fares and still take the levy. It means you're taking my pocket money.
Commercial drivers are holding firm on current fares despite falling fuel prices. The coming days will show if commuters will get any relief. For Joy News, Irabna Akwe, Kumasi.
Now, from fuel prices, let's talk about social protection. Calls for greater social support for widows and other vulnerable groups have intensified as many widows say the loss of a spouse comes with a struggle to provide basic needs for their families. Some embattled widows are pleading with government to extend regular financial assistance, insurance coverage and periodic relief items to help cushion them. The calls were made at an event by private contractor Emmanuel Abuaje to extend relief to more than 5,000 widows and vulnerable persons in Kumasi. Here's a report.
Many widows in the country struggle to provide the basic needs of their families when they lose their spouses. After death of spouse, old people like us could be getting at least some relief in form of consumables. It could come in form of what we are witnessing today, or maybe a social support system to provide funds for us every month. We need attention. Life is hard after death of our spouses. Many years of struggling, and my children are also sick and not working. I can only bank my hope on other people's benevolence. With smiles, about 5,000 widows and other vulnerable people received relief items as part of efforts to ease their burden during the festive season and the beginning of the year. Each beneficiary received a parcel containing a piece of cloth, a 5-kilogram bag of rice, cooking oil, tomato paste, and sardines. Kumasi-based private contractor Emmanuel Abuaje, popularly known as Abuaje Contractor, who championed the humanitarian exercise, indicated it's an annual initiative to give back to society. He says the intervention, which is in the 5th year, will support people facing economic hardships.
Widows.
We do this every year. We have already done it at Akosombo. The goal is to put smiles on the faces of men and women who are enduring widowhood and have to struggle to meet ends.
Normally, I feel so now commuting and now more no tiasia and a better bibi amo motimi almost so enya akuma kakra. But and I'm bibin to Omuniwa, yen so ye kakra be and say a baby power money in the.
The initiative, which expands beyond Kumasi, supported about 1,000 beneficiaries in the Akosombo area in the eastern region in 2025. Commenting on the large turnout and enthusiasm among beneficiaries, Mr. Abuaje said it was clear indication of the level of need within society and a call for collective responsibility. The widows commended him for the gesture. For Joy News, my name is Clinton Yabwa.
Now, a group of professionals known as the Biyalsis Guritaba Social Club has organized a medical outreach in the Chiok community of Wiaga in the Bosa North District of the Upper East region. The initiative, which targeted residents who often could not afford medical care, saw 441 patients receive critical care and 71 individuals with surgical conditions booked for crucial operations. Here's a report by correspondent Albert Sorry.
The Biyalsis Guritaba Social Club began as a circle of friends who often met for socialization. The group's name is a humorous reference to a public perception at the time that its members were bad boys with little future. Biyalsis Guritaba translates bad boys in quotes who are there for each other. More than 20 years on, the club has grown to more than 50 professionals working in medicine, information technology, business, politics, and other fields, both within and outside Ghana. Its mission has also expanded from social engagement to community development, leveraging the members' diverse expertise to support underserved communities. The medical outreach was conducted in Chiok, a community in the Bosa North District, where 2 club members hail from. John Asana is the president of the Biyalsis Guritaba Social Club.
What we normally do is that we select a place, a deprived area where members come from. So today in Chiok, we are here because 2 of our members come from this community. So we have come to also give back to them in terms of support. Last year, actually, we didn't have a medical outreach, but we gave a donation to the pediatric ward of the regional hospital.
The medical outreach was supported by oil marketing company Goil PLC, Enswell Pharmacy, and other sponsors. Medical staff conducted assessments of the Chiok community members and provided essential care. Dr. Lawrence Kankpeying, a member of the club and physician, who attended to patients, revealed that the event addressed a range of medical conditions, including several surgical cases.
There were a number of medical conditions that we encountered, including some surgical conditions such as inguinal hernias, umbilical hernias, and then goiters, lumps and bumps, lipomas, dermoids, sebaceous cysts, and then some swellings along the spine. We operated on some today, and the rest we operated on in January 2026. In all these surgeries and medications we are giving in this outreach is free.
Community members expressed appreciation to the Bialsis Gurutaba Social Club for the medical services.
The exercise is good. Well, it's helping us. Some of us we are there with our money to go to hospital. So this thing helps us to get medication. So it's good. It's very good. I've never seen such a gesture in my life before. From consultation to surgery, it's free. What can we say to Bialsis Gurutaba Social Club? All what we can say is thank you very much for the help.
Reporting for Joy News, Albert Sori, Chiok, Busa North District.
And back here in Accra, former Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Daquan Newman, is charging assemblies to insist designs for structures are disability-friendly before issuing building permits. She made the call during her annual celebration with persons with disabilities at the Ghana Society for the Socially Disadvantaged. According to her, enforcing these laws is mandatory and crucial to ensuring the full integration of persons with disabilities into society. Join News' Mavis Kubu and Nancy Kumson's report. Read to you.
Minister for Gender, Daquan Newman, graced the Ghana Society for Socially Disadvantaged for her annual meetup with persons with disabilities.
Just to spend time with them. But as I spent time with them, I realized they like to dance a lot. So it became more of a party where we can all dance, we all eat. Which
she said that most of the persons at the institution were fit enough to be in normal schools with little assistance and called for integration rather than isolation.
But the question is, they need some assistance. Who is going to provide it? There has to be ways that the government can also come in to ensure that even in classes, there are shadow teachers that can support those who need some extra help. There's no need why there should be a home just for persons with disability, especially when they can thrive in a normal society. When it comes to the law, the laws exist. People building, they know they are supposed to make their buildings accessible to persons with disability. But unfortunately, a lot of these buildings that are being built, even as of 2026, do not have bathrooms that are persons with disability friendly, or they do not have ramps that create an entry for persons with disability. Somebody in a wheelchair cannot climb a flight of stairs. We all know this. And so these are basics that we have to do to make persons with disability feel more like they are part of the society. The municipals, as they inspect these buildings and they provide them permits and they give them clearance, they need to ensure that the right thing has been done.
During the former minister's donation, she recognized the best students in various departments. The administrator of the institution also spoke about their skills development initiative.
Socially disadvantaged, you never go in vain or you never be useless, because we do monitoring. We do, the social workers here, we do follow up. We make sure those people who comes here and learn the train very well, the churches that they belong to, they establish them. And then we also see to it that what they've learned here is being used of a good use, or is of beneficiary to them.
The overall best student in the fashion department, Victoria Mate, also shared how the institution changed her perception about her disability and gave her hope that disability isn't inability.
Because of my condition and my situation, some don't see this disability as soon as they see you as a disabled person, what comes to their mind is that you have no use, you are useless. But with this help and the school, we are getting a whole lot.
Well, it's now time for some business news. Ahanta Pele, Samuel Kujo will bring you that after this breather.
Well, let's do some business update. And Ghana's economy is projected to have expanded by 5.7 plus or minus 0.5 percentage point in 2025. This will be higher than the International Monetary Fund forecast of 4.0% real gross domestic product growth and 4.3% by the World Bank. The following report has more.
According to IC Research, a leading market research firm, festivities-related spending in Q4 of 2025 boosted household and private sector consumption, supporting trades, manufacturing, transport, and information communication technology, while crops remain resilient. IC Research said it, however, expects construction growth to remain normalized below the double-digit expansion posted in the final quarter of 2024, although it sees prospects for recovery above the momentum in the third quarter of 2025. It continued that recovering household spending, driven by stable prices and a softer value-added tax regime in 2026, will support sales revenue and gross margin, highlighting effective distribution networks and efficient management of stock-keeping unit will retain customer base and structurally support top-line momentum. The report said the main investment thesis rests on capital growth than attractive income generation capacity. Ghana's overall real GDP grew by 5.5% year-on-year in the third quarter of 2025, easing from 7% last year. However, underlying activity remained firm, with non-oil growth at 6.8%.
Well, Ghana's oil production is set to record a boost in 2026 as Cosmos Energy, operator of the Jubilee field, has reported a successful drilling of a new well. This means that the new producer, well named J74, is expected to increase output by about 18.6%, one of the strongest short-term production jumps in recent years. It is expected that the financial impact may be softened by persistently low global oil prices. Dr. Yusuf Sulemana is a technical advisor at the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition.
It's a great thing. What we need to do is just to work towards closely with our partners, understand each other, like what is currently happening, and I think it will continue. I believe it's going to continue the understanding between the ministry led by Dr. John Jinapo, and that close and seamless relationship with our upstream partners, Talo, ENI, that relationship is beginning to yield massive results, and that's what we are seeing. So I want to say that there are better times ahead with respect to our production portfolio, and if we can get our upstream right, that will be in a better position to support our revenue flows and even support our downstream in a way. We have always advocated for a linkage, a seamless linkage between the upstream and then the downstream, where these individual value streams can support each other, and that's what we're beginning to do. That's what we're beginning to realize at this moment in time. And I think we can always pat ourselves in the back and hope for better days ahead. But clearly, I think it's the beginning of the realization of the robust foundation that was laid in 2025. The enabling environment that was created in 2025 and still being maintained is what is bearing fruits in the pledge to drill more wells.
All right, let's wrap up with the commodities markets. All right, that's all in Business Update. Back to you, Denisa.
Thank you, Ahatapele Samuel Kojo-Brace. Please, for more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Denisia Apomayeje. Enjoy the rest of the show, but up next is sports. Have a lovely day.